Welcome to this week's episode of Jet Lag in the News. I'm Steve Jasper, aka the Jet Lag Guy. Here's this week's episode. Out of South Korea, something I haven't worried about before and now I can't stop worrying about. Social jet lag in air traffic controllers. Air traffic controllers work a lot of shifts, and in a literature review, the researchers found that, quote, operational studies in aviation further indicate that fatigue and circadian misalignment contribute to degraded communication, delayed response times, and an increased likelihood of human error during safety critical operations. Not the news that I was hoping for. In the United States, the US airline Southwest Airlines has, after 50 years, abandoned open seating. Previously, passengers would board the plane and sit wherever they wanted. First in, best dressed. They now have allocated seatings as do other airlines. There is also now a change of policy for plus-sized passengers who are travelling on the airline. In circadian rhythm research out of the United States, which analysed data for more than 300,000 adults with an average age of 57, night owls have, quote, a 16% higher risk of heart attack or stroke compared with early risers. It was also noted that, quote, people who go to bed late more frequently adopt habits that negatively affect cardiovascular health, including poorer diets, smoking, and insufficient sleep. So I honestly suspect the confounding factors here are doing a lot of the heavy lifting rather than just purely the chronotype. In sleep research out of India examining medical undergraduates and a lack of sleep, a study was conducted with 412 undergraduate medical students at a tertiary medical institution. The researchers found that the prevalence of poor quality sleep was 67.2%, and, quote, poor sleep quality is highly prevalent among medical undergraduates and significantly impairs academic performance. Interventions targeting sleep hygiene education and electronic device usage reduction are warranted to optimize both sleep quality and academic outcomes in medical education. I, for one, definitely want medical undergraduates to get a good night's sleep. In sport, the Australian Open has finished. Congratulations to Carlos Alcaraz and Elena Rybakina. Currently, there is discussion around the times of the games, as the men's final is played in the evening in the Australian Open. A part of the conversation is suitable times for international transmission, given that it is played in Australia in the UT plus 11 time zones, as we are on daylight saving time here. I recall in 2023 it finished at 4 a.m. and player Andy Murray called it a farce. This was on a Thursday night, and Melbourne has no public transport during the week on a Friday at 4 a.m., leaving many people stranded. There are limited taxis at that hour of the morning and it's not cheap. If you are staying in the city centre, it's a long walk back to your hotel, and if you are staying anywhere else, it's even further away. There's not that much accommodation near the tennis courts. So I would recommend for the players and audience alike, on the basis of circadian rhythm friendly matches, move the game to the afternoon. And finally, out of Lancaster, Ohio in 1830, the Reverend James E. Clark was not a rail fan, nor did he like telegraphs. Writing for the Presbyterian Advanced, he asked, quote, have any readers of this paper so departed from the faith of their fathers as to ride upon a railway train or use the telegraph? He did not want such matters discussed in the schoolhouse, saying, quote, you are welcome to use the schoolhouse to debate all proper questions in, but such things as railroads and telegraphs are impossibilities and rank infidelity. He further continued, saying, quote, if God had designated that his intelligent creatures should travel at the frightful speed of 15 miles per hour, he would have foretold it through his holy prophets. It is a device of Satan to lead immortal souls to hell. I don't know what he would have thought of flying. I suspect the poor man would have had an embolism at the thought of jet planes and supersonic planes. If you have any questions or want to know more about what I do, check out my website at www.jetlagguy.com.au. There's another book on the way, and you'll be the first to know when it's released. And that's this week's Jet Lag in the News. I'm Steve Jasper, aka the Jet Lag Guy. Thank you for watching.